Hi, Monica. What the heck is going on? Why did I just receive a bunch of boxes from you? And the contents is all your belongings? Are you planning on moving in or something?
You opened it? Why the hell would you do that? You've invaded my privacy. Keep your hands off my stuff.
What? Well, you didn't mention anything about sending a million boxes to my house. I needed to know what they were. There's so many, they're blocking my door, you know. What are they?
I said hands off.
Well, can you explain why you've sent them? What the hell is going on? You can't send so many boxes unannounced. I don't live by myself, you know. Colin is going to be so confused when he sees this. Did you mean to send it to Mom so they could put them in your old room or something?
No, I didn't confuse the address. I meant to send it to your place because I'm moving in tomorrow. You, on the other hand, are moving out.
Come again? Are you drunk right now, or have you actually lost your mind? What kind of a joke is that?
Who said I was joking? I'm being serious. First of all, it was never fair that you get to live in that fancy high-rise apartment and not me. It's about time I get my turn. So I am kicking you out.
Monica, you need to knock it off. You are making absolutely no sense, and frankly, I think that it's rude. I mean, what the hell do you mean it's not fair? I worked to get where I am and not by myself. As I said earlier, Colin lives here with me. You know that. It's not up to you to decide that you move in or send your belongings without us knowing. On top of that, to kick me out? Give me a break, girl. I don't know what is going on with you, but I am officially worried for your health. You should get some help. Anyway, I am sending these boxes back your way. I'm sorry, but I can't accommodate you.
You are so oblivious, aren't you? You have it all wrong, Jane. I didn't just decide for myself. Colin knows what's happening.
Huh?
You want to know why? Because I am his girlfriend now. He told me to send my stuff and kick you out because he loves me, not you.
Monica? Seriously, you're starting to sound like a maniac. You're not making any sense. What the hell are you talking about?
I'm telling you that he wants to be with me and not you, you idiot. Get it? I'm in, you're out. Therefore, that apartment is mine now.
I am engaged to that man.
Well, let me be clear for you then. Things between you and Colin have been over for a long, long time.
Over? No, it hasn't. We still live together. How could it be?
Yes, it has. You see, Colin and I have been seeing each other for over a year behind your back. I'm sure you recall that he's been quite busy lately, coming home in the middle of the night or going on business trips all the time. Well, guess what? He was with me all those times. You had no idea, did you? He's done with you, Jane. He belongs to me now.
Are you being serious right now? So he's been cheating on me with you, my actual sister?
Well, since his main interest is me now, you could say that I've been letting him cheat on me with you. But we can skip that part because it's not going to be important anymore. Anyway, I'm sure you get the gist now, so start packing. You don't belong there anymore. We plan on getting engaged as soon as I move in. So we don't need any parasite hanging around.
Excuse me? You're calling me a parasite?
Well, clearly you are. Colin's told me what a cheap ass you are. You make him pay for everything from rent to groceries. And you keep all the money you make to yourself. You think you're special or something, don't you? Well, you're not. You're merely a parasite who sucks up Colin's money.
Wait a second, he said that to you? That he pays for everything?
Yes, he did. He tells me his true feelings about you all the time. He's also told me about how annoying you are, telling him what to do. You're so bossy to him. Plus, you used to be pretty, but you don't take care of yourself anymore. You only wear tired, baggy clothes with your messy hair. You never wear makeup like you used to. You've forgotten that you are a woman. He doesn't love you anymore because you're not attractive. Oh, and he also said that you are so unappreciative, even though you live off his money. You're a horrible cook and bad at housekeeping, too.
Wow, he has a lot to say about me.
Yeah, he sure does. So, you see, you're unwanted. He prefers someone like me, a young, pretty girl with a good attitude. Someone who takes care of herself and her man, not a bossy old hag.
All right, fine then. I'll go. If that's what he thinks of me, I will have to end things with him right away.
Oh, good! Sister, you get it now. Please do, quickly. I've been dying to tell you to get the hell out. It's finally happening. Oh, I can't wait till we start our new life together. Everything is going to be so great.
Colin, is it true? Have you been cheating on me with my sister?
Huh?
Monica just messaged me. She said that you've been seeing each other for over a year now, and that the plan is to kick me out of the apartment so that you two can live together.
Oh, well, I guess she couldn't wait then. I told her to wait until I break up with you out of courtesy. She's like that, isn't she? Once you get her excited, you can't stop her. It's kinda cute if you think about it.
Wow, Colin, you just admit everything then, yeah? Just like that?
Clearly there's no point in acting stupid. I might as well be honest with you so we can get this done and over with.
Unbelievable. Is it true what you said about me too? That I live off your money and keep everything I make to myself? Or that I'm a terrible cook and bad at housekeeping?
You mean you're surprised to learn that I think of you that way? Of course it's true. It pretty much summarizes you, doesn't it? You're so dependent on my salary. Oh, and don't forget that you're also unappreciative and bossy as well. I realized that you were a mistake as soon as we started living together. It would be a nightmare to marry someone like you.
I see.
Your sister, on the other hand, is great. She's young and sweet. She knows how to respect a man, unlike you. It's hard to believe you two had the same upbringing.
Interesting. All right, so to clarify, you're ending things with me to be with my baby sister.
It's happening sooner than I initially planned, but yes, that is correct. My parents will understand, I'm sure. They'd prefer a sweet girl like Monica over a tight ass like you. Damn, it feels good to finally get you off my back.
Cool. Fine then. We're officially done, as you wish. I'm glad we haven't made any wedding plans, so no issues there. I'll take my stuff out of the apartment right away. I'll also take out the money I put in our joint account, and that'll be it. Thanks for everything. Have a good life.
You're such a sarcastic bitch. Whatever, I don't care as long as you're leaving. The sooner you leave, the sooner I get to restart my life with Monica. I can't wait to live with her, so be quick.
Oh, don't worry, I will be gone by the end of the day. I can't stay another minute longer in this house, surrounded by your stuff. I just have one thing to say, as a friendly note. Good luck surviving each other. I'll be waiting to hear how long you two last. I'm betting myself less than 3 months.
Jane, baby, how are you, my dear? Listen, there's something I need to say to you. I don't know how else to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. Baby, I'm so sorry. I was wrong about everything. Please, come back to me. I can't live another day without you. I need you back. Help me. I'm begging you.
See? 3 months. I told you. I should add profit to my title.
Jane, I am serious. You won't believe what's happening here. The kitchen and bath, they're completely ruined. It's like something exploded in them or something. They're so filthy. In the kitchen, all the pans are burnt black and just sitting there. I don't think there's a single plate that isn't broken. Every piece of food in the fridge is rotten and it smells horrible. The bath is clogged up and the bubbles won't stop overflowing from the washing machine. The toilet's disgusting too. And the entire house, it's just full of things everywhere. Please, I don't know what to do. Help me.
It's Monica, isn't it? She has no clue about a single chore. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't know how to clean. Nothing, because she never even helped. She is useless when it comes to housekeeping. In fact, she probably doesn't even know that people work hard to keep their houses clean. She thinks there's a fairy to do all that.
You knew she was this bad? Why didn't you tell me that before?
How did you not know? I thought you two were seeing each other for over a year behind my back. Well, I guess you were too busy sleeping with her. It's too bad you had to wait till you lived with her to find out. But hey, now you know. She's a disaster, isn't she? You know, she almost burnt down her apartment before. And her room was always filthy. My mom had to clean it for her because she refused. Even after she left my parents' house, my mom had to go to her apartment every weekend to clean for her. I told her to stop spoiling my sister, but she was too afraid that Monica was going to damage her apartment or something and get in serious trouble with the landlord. My sister was so bad that my mom became totally paranoid.
I don't believe this. You never said anything about Monica being such a disaster. And she told me before that she was great wife material. She said she was a better cook than you and that she was a very tidy person.
Well, what do you think? Can't you tell she was totally lying? I mean, it's bad enough that you have to ask me for help, right?
It is! This place, it's barely livable. I'm gonna have to get a plumber to fix the bath and the toilet, but I can't pay for it. I don't have any cash left this month.
Oh, that's too bad. But hey, it was your choice, wasn't it? Monica doesn't have any money or any housekeeping skills, but she's young and sweet, right? That's what you like in a girl, wasn't it? So you should let her off the hook. You let her be the young and sweet, free-spirited girl.
You know that's not what I really meant, Jane. Even if it was back then, I see now that her youth is not going to solve my issue. I can't live like this. Baby, listen, I'm sorry. I truly am. I never should have let you go. I know I was an idiot. I didn't realize how much you used to do for me until now. Please, come back. I miss your warm, delicious meals. Please.
Nope, not happening. Clearly, you only think of me as your maid.
Baby, that is not true. I love you. Hear me out, please.
Don't you ever baby me. And for the record, I do not love you. I know you don't love me either, so stop pretending. Like I said, you made your choice 3 months ago. You said you didn't want a bossy woman like me and chose Monica, so have fun. Try to make the best of it, perhaps. At least until she stays young. Bye!
Jane, hey, you need to answer me right now. What the hell is this? What did you do?
What now, Monica? It's quite amazing how you still have the nerve to message me. What the hell do you want from me?
Why do I have a payment notice in my hand right now? It says I have to leave this apartment if I don't pay on time? What do I do, Jane? How the hell am I supposed to deal with this?
You don't know how to deal with something, so you come to me and not Colin? I didn't think you two were that stupid. But I guess you guys are a good couple. I mean, you clearly think alike.
Shut up and help your little sister out, Jane. I'm not interested in your sarcasm right now. I don't know why our rent hasn't been paid. Colin should have taken care of it. He left to visit his parents last night and hasn't come home since. I can't get a hold of him to ask what is going on. Do you know why?
Well, the rent gets withdrawn from the joint account Colin and I used to have. When you and him kicked me out, I, of course, took out the money that I ever put in there. So I'm assuming after 3 months, the account must be empty by now.
I knew it! You bitch! You stole our money! Give it back, you thief! Put it back in the account right now or I'm calling the police.
I beg your pardon? Don't you dare call me a thief. I only took out what I put into that account. It belonged to me in the first place. Seriously, did you expect me to give it up to two assholes who kicked me out of my own house?
Well, it doesn't make any sense. You must have taken out more than you put in there because Colin said he put money in the account. He said he did last month, too. So then how could it be empty?
Do you know how much he was putting in the account?
No.
Well, you should teach him that he can't live in a high-rise apartment building for $500 a month.
Huh?
I bet he's only been putting $500 into the account like he always has. What a moron. He thinks he lives in a dorm or something. You should use this opportunity to educate him on the real costs of living. He's an adult now. He can't assume $500 is going to cover everything.
Well, duh. He knows that, of course. He's a grown man. What the hell are you talking about?
Ah, well, my little sister, I am really glad you, at least, understand $500 is not going to cut it. It's too bad, though, because I'll tell you, your man actually doesn't. He's a spoiled bastard who used to live with his mom up until he moved in with me. And that's the amount he paid his mom every month. It stayed that amount even after moving in with me. So he thinks $500 is enough anywhere he lives. He's probably not even interested in finding out the true cost.
You're kidding, right?
Nope. Besides, he only makes like $3,000 a month. So he shouldn't be living there in the first place. But when we decided to live together, he wouldn't budge on it. I told him so many times that we should live somewhere that matches our income. He wouldn't listen, though, and me, being a blind fool, eventually agreed to cover for most of the cost.
3,000? Get out. That can't be true. That's not even enough to cover for a month.
I told him that, too. I did that math for him and asked if he was going to be able to pay half the rent every month with what he makes. But then after asking a bunch of times, he got pissed off, claiming that I was hurting his feelings. He even told his mom. And then his mom, being the nuthead that she is, calls me up and lectures me on how I should respect a man. It was the worst thing ever. So I stopped saying anything about his money. Honestly, I wish I could go back in time and punch myself. I was so young and naive. I should have known that he was never worth it.
So then how the hell was the rent ever paid?
I was paying most of it, of course. How else could we have lived there?
That's not what he told me. He said that you were completely dependent on his income.
Well, that's not true. I think he kind of made himself believe that. But in reality, he was the one who was completely dependent on my income. All he ever paid was $500 a month, and the rest he spent on himself. And yet he never did any chores. So, you tell me now, who's the parasite? Not me, clearly.
No. You've got to be kidding me. This is not happening.
Sucks to be you. For me, it was actually the best timing that you guys kicked me out. It was never going to work out between me and Colin. Our finances were so different, it was clear that I wasn't going to get along with his crazy family. So I guess I have you to thank. It was a huge wake-up call. And you gave me the opportunity to end things with him smoothly. Anyway, I hope you and Colin can find a way to pay for rent, or for anything.
Wait, Jane, this is insane. I literally cannot pay. I didn't know Colin was lying to me. If I had known that he was financially dependent on you, I never would have taken him. He tricked me.
Monica, sweetie, you called me a parasite, and yet you were trying to live off of his making too? That sounds awfully hypocritical to me. Well, like I said, he has no such money. So it's faster if you go find yourself a job.
A job? What? I can't work. I don't know how. Come on, Jane. Help your sweet little sister out. It'll be the end if I get kicked out of this apartment. I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't have any money. I'll end up on the streets. Please come back and live with us, perhaps until we get ourselves back on our feet. Surely you don't want your baby sister to become homeless.
You actually think I care? I'm not helping you. It's not my problem if you end up on the streets. In fact, I think you deserve it. Goodbye, Monica. I doubt we will ever speak again. Soon after our last conversation, Monica drove hours to Colin's parents' house to confront him about his lies. He pretended he wasn't there and had his mother talk to Monica instead, which really pissed her off. She got into a huge fight with his crazy mother on their front porch. The fight got so out of hand that the neighbors eventually called the cops. Once the cops arrived, Colin finally came out, but Monica's confrontation was so intense that it scared Colin enough for them to finally break up as a couple. Through a third person, they agreed to split the bill for the unpaid rent as well as the cost of damages done to the apartment. However, the apartment being a suite, the payment for the damages cost them much more than expected. Desperate, Monica visited my parents to seek help, but furious of what she had done to me, they refused and kicked her out of their house. My mom later told me that Monica was on her knees begging and crying, but my parents decided that it was their job to teach Monica a lesson once and for all. On the other hand, Colin, being the spoiled ass that he is, was able to get help from his mom to pay for everything. But still having the desire to live with someone who would pay for most of his living costs and do all the housework, he showed up to my work and begged me to take him back. My colleagues, who knew what happened between him and I, thought it was hilarious and began to insult him in front of everyone, calling him names like the Parasite, Mama's Boy, and the $500 Dude. Colin was so embarrassed that he took off and never showed up again. I don't really know what changed him so much during the past few years. Despite his crazy desire to live in a luxury apartment, he had some kindness and modesty when I first met him. But I guess the environment can easily change someone. I regret not being able to see or stop his absurdity much sooner, but now that it's over, I simply hope they do better next time. Since the breakup, my life has been great and carefree. Because I don't have Colin to take care of anymore, I've been able to focus on work and deliver better results than before, which has led me to land a promotion that I've been hoping for the last few years. I sometimes wonder why I made such a poor decision to stay with Colin, but now that it's done and over with, I am glad I will never waste any minute more than I already have. And now that I really have the money to myself, I enjoy every bit of it in my very own luxury apartment. William, we have a huge problem right now. I need you to answer me.
Huh? What do you want from me, Catherine? I'm about to become rich really soon here. So leave me alone and get back to doing whatever the heck it is you do with your life now.
This is not the time for you to be at the casino, William. Something very serious has happened.
Jeez, you're at it again trying to act like my mother. You were my dad's second choice, you know that?
And your dad just got into a serious car accident and had to be taken away in an ambulance because his injuries were that serious.
Huh?
I just got a call saying he's on his way to a hospital. So you need to hurry up and get over there as well.
Sure, I guess.
Excuse me, William. Are you back out gambling at that casino again?
I sure am, and?
Today is your dad's memorial, and tomorrow he's going to be buried at the cemetery. You should already be aware of that, right?
I know already. Jeez, I plan to be there at 6 p.m. when the memorial begins.
But I want you here right now so that you can help me with some of the preparations.
I'm sure you do. This is your last chance to do anything wife-like for my dad, and after this we won't need you anymore. I'll make sure to do away with you and finally have the peace and quiet I've been wishing for.
You're in the same shoes as me, though. This is your last chance to be like a son to your dad. So don't you want to be here right now to make some of your last memories you'll ever have with him?
Honestly, second wives like you are also freaking unbearable. Oh, I just hit a jackpot.
William!
I want to talk about my inheritance.
What?
I want to talk about the inheritance I'm getting from my dad. You're gonna help me get every penny that man left behind for me, right?
Listen here, William. That is not the kind of thing you should be asking about right now when his funeral only just happened today.
But considering the fact that you're my dad's second wife, I'm sure you're gonna try and lay your hands on all of his money, and I have to make sure something like that never happens.
Jesus Christ, you child. I plan to talk with the lawyer in a couple of weeks about the money and assets your dad has left behind in his death.
Huh? You telling me a lawyer is gonna be around to deal with what he left behind?
Just in case we need any help. Your dad didn't leave behind a very large will or anything, but it would be nice to have some legal help in this. Since I'm his second wife, and we also have you to consider when it comes to what goes to who. Now, would you just forget about his money for the time being and focus on respecting your dad for the man he was?
What a pain in the ass.
Another thing. All of your dad's family is going to be coming over to the house right now to stay for a bit, since a lot of them came all the way out here from different parts of the U.S.
What? Why?
Because you haven't bothered to do anything in order to help out with getting all your dad's things in order, so I'm having them stay at the house in order to help me instead.
Catherine? It's been a couple of weeks now, so can we talk about the money yet?
So this is about the inheritance your dad has left behind?
Well, what else would I be talking about? I've become tired of waiting for some lawyer to get all that work done that you got them involved for, so I'm going to give you a piece of my mind and put an end to all of this waiting around.
I guess I'll have to ask. What exactly do you have to say?
You being my dad's second wife makes you a stranger. And as a stranger, I don't want anything to do with you. So that means I'm cutting ties to you now, which now means all of that money and crap that my dad's left behind will become mine now.
What? Do you have any idea what it means to be a legal inheritor of someone's things?
You're talking about someone who's legally obligated to someone else's things after they've died, right? Yeah, I already looked into all of that.
I see. Then, when it comes to what you've just told me, even though you are aware of the fact that I'm the legal inheritor of your dad's things, having been his wife, you're going to tell me to leave it all so that you can have it?
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure that you only married my dad to get all of his money in the first place, right? But had you not gotten in the way and married my dad after he got rid of his first wife, all of that money would be coming to me. In other words, all of that money and crap that he had was mine, and that means I'm legally allowed to get it from you.
I guess I can explain all of this to you instead of letting the lawyer do it.
What are you talking about? I'm not going to listen to any more of your excuses.
I'm sure you're not going to. And I understand that. Then please allow me to say this one last thing to you before I go. Did you know that when I got married to your dad, he and I got ourselves a lawyer who made it so that I would not be given access to any of his money and assets after he passed?
Wait, are you serious?
I know that neither of us had said anything to you about it this whole time. But I happen to have a company of my own right now, so I have no need for any of your dad's things.
Whoa, what the heck? Then there was no reason for you to get a dang lawyer involved, now was there? It's already been decided that everything will be going to me, so all I have to do is go and get what's mine.
But William, do you not know anything about this yet?
About what?
Your dad and his previous wife had a daughter together before they separated.
What?
She had her just before you, which means that she's around the same age. 28 years old now, if I'm remembering your age correctly. He and his daughter kind of stopped talking to one another long ago because of reasons, but that didn't stop her from being his daughter, and that did not erase her from the will he wrote regarding what he left behind.
Huh?
By the way, during the funeral, she was there. And she even went up to say one last goodbye to your dad while he was in the casket. I'm sure she was even sitting with all your dad's family there.
Hold on a sec. You're telling me that my dad and my mom both had another girl before she left, and that's who that girl is?
That's right. However, your mom took custody of her in the divorce and left you to your dad. And that's why you never really heard anything about her. And I think that was what both your mom and dad wanted to happen. Now, the reason why I asked you to get a lawyer involved in all of this lies with what I just told you. I was worried that she would be coming back to look for her money from her dad, and that would lead to some confrontations with you. And so I wanted a professional around to help straighten things up. The thing is, though, I didn't think the only person who would be causing so much trouble would be the young man I'm talking to right now. That lawyer will want to talk to you in 3 days, so when he's around, please listen to everything he has to say about what's been left behind and what is yours.
I am not going to let this happen. Why am I not allowed to get any of my dad's money? I'm my freaking dad's son, am I not? At the very least, shouldn't I be splitting whatever my dad left behind with that daughter he had with my mom? My sister, I guess? Why the hell is it only her getting all of my dad's things now?
And perhaps that has to do with the fact that she actually cared about her dad and became an outstanding daughter for him?
Huh? I'm the outstanding child.
I'm sure you're not fully understanding everything from the past, but the woman your dad had his daughter with was not your mom, but another woman he married before your mom. But she left him right as she had his daughter, and not too long after he married your mom. But you were already born by the time he married her, so you were just her son that she brought along into his life. I know this will come as a shocker to you in some ways, but you're not your dad's real child. You should kind of already be aware of that, though, right? Your mom wasn't even your dad's first choice, and he got married to her while she dragged you into his life because he needed someone to comfort him. Then, after a while had passed and you had turned 20, your mom left this world and both your dad and you, right? Your dad was again single, and the loneliness made him turn to me a few years after her death. And that's why I've been his wife and your mom for the past 5 years. That's the whole story I had been told by the lawyer. Does all of that sound correct to you?
That's all spot on, but I know all of that, but I know that my dad chose to marry my mom after his first wife left him. Which means he should be totally fine with me getting all of his inheritance as his son, right?
What?
What?
William, your dad never legally adopted you as his own son, right?
What? I guess not. I remember hearing things about how he never wanted to have custody of me as his child and wanted my mom to always care for me. Something like that. But what does that have to do with anything? As far as I'm aware, it means nothing now.
Do you think that just because your mom married him, you would be getting all of your dad's inheritance after he passed away?
Huh?
This is something else that the lawyer explained to me. When you went and first talked with him about the inheritance and who would be getting it, you were so shocked by what he said that you didn't even bother to listen to the second half of the explanation. Is that true?
I guess he's right. After he told me I wasn't getting a penny, I don't remember anything. It's all just really vague now.
Put all of what the lawyer said into simple terms, because your dad did not legally adopt you as his son, that means you don't get access to any of his money.
Are you freaking kidding me?
So give up on it now. I'm sure you don't want to accept any of this, but you can't continue acting like a spoiled child at your age.
But if I don't get that money, I'll be screwed!
And how would you be screwed if you didn't get his money?
I'm in debt.
Really?
Thinking that I'd be getting all of my dad's money, I started to have a field day at the casino, betting on all kinds of games and playing all kinds of machines. I borrowed a lot of money to do so, but everything I bet on and all the machines that I played, I lost. I have to do something about all of this debt before the end of the month, or else I'm gonna be royally screwed.
Seriously?
The end of the month is really soon.
What the hell have you done, William?
But come on!
I'm going to find myself a temporary place until I can calm down, and I'm having all of my things moved into there.
What?
I'm afraid you will try and take my money soon in order to pay off your debts, so I need to get away from you.
Wait a second. What about the house and food?
Not my problem anymore.
Listen here, Catherine. After taking some time to think this all through, things are a lot more simple than I had first thought. All I have to do now is have you adopt me as your child and be taken care of by you.
What the hell?
Catherine, you run your own company now, right? In other words, that means you have plenty of money just sitting around waiting to be used. Also, you don't happen to have any children yet, right? So that means as long as I become your adopted son, I can get access to your inheritance when you're gone, which would mean I can pay off all this debt.
Hey, William, you do understand that I'm only in my early 40s right now, right?
What? I know that, sure.
And you do understand how to get access to someone's inheritance, right? So far, I haven't had any issues with any sort of illness that would reduce my time on this earth any. So you'll be waiting quite a while for any money to be coming from me. The thing is, though, I'm not willing to give you any of my things anyway after I die. Are you really that desperate now that you're trying to act like I'm going to die soon and that you can get my money?
Huh? Oh, no, wait, that's not what I meant by that.
Well, whatever you say about those comments, I've already gone and made up my mind on who gets my money. And that is going to be my niece, who will not only be getting all my money when I pass away, but also my company and all of its assets. So no matter what you try and do from here on out, you're not going to get your hands on any of my stuff.
No way. Catherine, I just got an idea.
And what could it be this time?
That niece of yours that you were talking about yesterday. Introduce her to me.
Huh?
I'm gonna get married to your niece now. Making her my wife would mean that she'd have to help me pay off my debt. And as for this first part of the debt that has to be paid off here soon, I'll just use her savings in order to do so. Oh, thank God. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to come up with a solid plan in time. With this, I'll finally be able to get past this bump in the road and be safe. And on top of that, I'll be able to become the husband of a future company owner. I'll be frickin' rich! My life is gonna be so easy. I've finally done it!
My niece is married, William.
What?
And she already had 2 kids with her husband.
She seriously has kids as well?
William, would you cut that crap out right now and pull your own pants up for once?
What?
Every single day, day after day, all you ever do is gamble. Slot machines, roulette tables, poker games, horse racing. Us normal people call adults like you gambling addicts. I'm sure you made it this far with that addiction of yours by having all your dad's money at your disposal, but you cannot do that anymore and have to start taking responsibility for yourself. Get a dang job now, please. And if you're wanting to say that you don't want to work or that you don't like working, then prepare yourself for a life of even greater struggles.
You're asking me to work now?
I'm sure no self-respecting company would want to hire you, but I can introduce you to some good manual labor jobs that wouldn't mind the extra meat.
What?
Actually, I don't need an answer from you because I'm going to make you work for them. That house you're in now that you've lived in with your dad and I will be gone at the end of the month.
What? You're getting rid of it?
I'm sure you were aware of this, but your dad was renting that large house this whole time. I could take the place for myself and start paying rent on it for you and I, but I don't find living with you a very good joke anymore, and that's why I'm gone. I've actually taken additional steps in order to stay away from you by changing my last name back to that of my parents' last name, and we'll be heading home to them soon. Since I'm no longer in that house anymore, there's no way for you to pay the rent, right? Which is why that place will be gone at the end of this month.
Are you kidding me? Catherine! This place that you introduced me to work at, I didn't think you'd be putting me into a freaking internment camp. This all-black van just pulled up to the house and 4 men have all just jumped out of it.
Ah, so you know about where they'll be taking you then?
One of my friends was taken away by guys like those 10 years ago. And ever since that happened, I never heard from him again.
I've heard that after having one's life turned around and made into a dependable adult, they no longer want to get in touch with the bad influences they'd hung out with before.